5:06 p.m. Thanks for waiting, folks. I'm sorry we're running a little late. We do have a quorum, so we will call the meeting of the Village of Cooperstown's Historic Preservation and Architectural Review Board to order. Excuse me. The first item on the agenda is a public hearing regarding the demolition of the attached woodshed at 22 Leatherstocking Street. Is anybody here regarding that public hearing? Okay, Chris, did we have any comments received by email or mail?
Nobody responded.
Okay, we're going to leave the public hearing open for a little bit, and we'll move on to the first item on the regular agenda, 12 Eagle Street. Is anybody here regarding the application for 12 Eagle Street? Come on up and have a seat. So would you like to tell us what you'd like to do?
Do you want me to? So, hello, everyone. I have an existing old garage barn that's probably as old as the house, and it's in pretty bad shape. And as I'm fixing up the house, and I'll be here 5 years in February, so it's time to do something with the garage. Basically just leaving the footprint as is and just shoring it up and making it look good and smell good and all that.
And you figure out how to do that, let me know.
No kidding. So, it's, you want to add something more?
Well, the main items on the list, we would be replacing the roof. Just what already existed began to rust. So we would just replace it with a similar corrugated metal roof, as indicated in the file. The windows, we would replace all the windows as well as the Anderson 400 series windows. The siding will remain the same. Any siding that we need to redo when we're reframing the windows or finding anything that's rotten, we'll just replace and paint with the same wooden siding. And the garage door, we'd like to replace the garage door as well. And I believe we are also adding some dark sky compliant light fixtures for the garage door and there's a side door that kind of leads into the garden and the backyard of the main house. So we'd like to put a light there as well for that defense.
With the profile of the roof, do you have are you going to match that profile, or do you know what kind of material you're going to use for the roof?
Yeah, so there's actually two roofs. There's the main structure, and then behind that was a little addition. And that little addition, we're not changing the roof for that one. We're just changing the main roof, and we're just replacing it with the similar style of corrugated metal roof.
I guess I should have been more specific. Are you using a similar, like the same kind of profile for the metal roof? Basically, just replicating that?
Yeah, we're just taking out the old and replacing it with the new.
So it's got the same ridge and valley.
Yeah.
And you'll have the ridge, the seat cap along the top. With the windows, you're proposing the Anderson. Are you going to do 6/6 divided light, or is that because the the drawings say, show a 4/4, and that was why I was checking.
Let me double check. I think that whatever, there's pictures at the bottom of the application. I believe the Anderson windows we chose matched the 6 over 6.
Okay.
That's what you show on this page.
Okay, the spec sheet.
Yeah,
Okay, I
that
just
could
wanted to
be-
confirm that, because the drawings were 4/4, so I wanted to make sure.
Oh, I see.
Why are we getting rid of the old windows?
Well, they're single pane, they're warped. There's actually, one of the windows is being held together with a farm tool because it won't seal correctly.
So it was farmer fixed?
Yeah.
I need that tool.
I'm keeping it.
Yeah, for sure.
On the Anderson windows, the 400 series, I looked at the spec sheet and also looked it up online. It doesn't say what type of grills are, the spec sheet doesn't have enough specificity about the grill type. So we typically, in our window guidelines, talk about true divided light, which means that the grills are dimensional on the outside of the window. Grills between the glass are what it says, it's like a grill between the glass, which we typically do not approve. But I can't understand from the spec sheet for this window what type of grill, because it just says grills. It doesn't have any detail about the grill. So it says that there, it divides it into 6 lights on the top and 6 lights on the bottom, but it doesn't say if the grill is dimensional, like outside the glass, or if it's inside the glass. And I think that is probably a specification we would need to have before we could approve the window.
We've used these windows in previous projects that have been approved by this board.
Do you remember if they're outside if it's like you can run your hand down, does it bump out where the individual pieces are that divide the windows? Does it bump out like a real window, or does it just kind of look like it's divided and actually divisions are between the glass?
I don't believe they emulated I believe they're just in the glass. The grills are just inside the glass.
So that's not usually something we approve, and we have actually had people change their windows when they've done that. So we would like to see, it doesn't have to be a true divided light where each grill contains an individual piece of glass, so that each section of the window is made up of 6 sections of glass, but we do want a dimensional grill, so it looks like what you're replacing from the road, for example. So because you can really tell the difference between the grills that are between the glass and simulated divided lights that at least simulate that dimensional division. So I have another question about the windows. You have an awning window in here as well. Where is the awning window going to go?
It should be located above the garage door and the to the garage.
So that is currently the other 3.
It's the Anderson AW21, 12 inches, 12 feet high.
And does that fit, is that the same dimension as the current space, or will the space, the fenestration change, will that space size change for the window?
Well, the current window, as if you reference the picture of the front of the barn, the current window is set a bit slightly lower than we would like it, and it's also set off center. So when replacing the window, it seems pertinent to actually center the window like it should have been done. And then we would just align the top of the window with the bottom of the slope of the roof.
So, but the size of the opening will also change.
It's pretty close to what it is, but I guess what I'm saying is we physically move the window.
I understand.
Regardless.
And that should have been kind of spelled out in the application then, if that window was gonna be moved and the size was gonna change. So it's not just the replacement of windows, it's actually more of a change.
To change to how the windows are laid out on the building elevations. And the window is, there's also a difference in the picture of the front elevation and the drawing that you provided. And I'm only pointing this out because of the centering of the window issue. So the window appears, there's an extra margin on the side of the garage door on only one side of the garage door. So I guess when you're centering the window, are you centering it in the building? Are you lining up the peak of the roof gable with the center of the window? Or are you centering the window over the garage door?
So the peak of the gable, since we're also replacing the garage door, that will, we're using a smaller garage door with less, so we'll be able to fix that as well.
Okay, and these are little subtleties that should have gotten kind of spelled out in the application, not just in the drawing, so we're not wondering whether one is accurate or not.
Well, I think a lot of this was, I mean, with the garage door replacement,
And no,
Yes, I did.
the
That's
change
good.
in the actual width of the location of the window and the change in the actual width of the sections of garage wall to the right and left of the door. Those are changes to the structure that should have been not just depicted in a drawing, but
there is a paragraph
Okay,
spelling that in the garage door section.
sorry.
I can read it aloud.
No, it's okay, I apologize.
Page 3.
Thanks, Chris.
This picture that shows the three being stacked vertically as opposed to the way the other one is where they're going horizontally. Is the new one going to be 3 horizontal or 3 vertical?
It will be the 400 series awning window on the spec sheet where it'll be more vertical. So
Like in your drawing. Did everyone catch what I was pointing out?
So you were asking about the change in the window above the garage door?
Yeah, the picture, and as they're proposing, it's gonna be 2/2/2.
Right, yeah. And that is the fill at the bottom then, where it's darker, indicating that it's actually gonna be filled in as the window gets moved out?
It's probably just a change, or just the other dark shade on the bottom of the third that it is.
Oh, that's just a part of the program. That's
Okay,
just lighting in the program.
so you're gonna go to a basically 8-pane window? That was Bernie's question, correct?
No, just a 2/2/2 as opposed to 3/3.
Right,
Okay, is that sort of?
so the configuration of that will change.
Yeah, it'll go vertical, it'll be rotated 90.
This Anderson series should have the option of windows with the dimensional divided lights.
Yes, I looked it up, they do. You can pick which option you want.
And then this is the roof material? Okay. So it's a bit more of a contemporary profile for that roof material than is on it now.
The roof material in your spec sheet is just a regular corrugated, and the existing roof seems to be like a 6-inch.
Raised,
Closed
standing
standing
seam, yeah. Are you, just out of curiosity, and we don't have any purview over this, but are you doing something with the floor in there, or is that inside the garage, are you?
As it stands now, it's a dirt floor with, rotting planks. I think it was, a one-horse carriage situation. So yeah, I would like to have a concrete floor for it.
That will smell better. That will smell better.
Oh my gosh.
Kim, do you have any questions?
No, I went down.
Tommy, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Bernie, do you have any questions?
Use another minute.
Okay, take your time. And so the door is going to be a metal door, the garage door?
I just have one question about the, long narrow window opening in the Chevy portion. You're gonna replace that window with a 6/6 to match the other windows.
Yes.
And it says in your application that you're gonna infill that extra opening with siding to match the existing siding.
So does that also have that kind of novelty siding on it, on that back section? I can't tell from the picture.
Yeah, it appears to be all sided the same.
Yeah.
You can see the novelty siding a bit better on the back here.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you.
Is there something behind that piece of plywood? Is it a hole or is it on the very back?
Oh,
I think it was an addition that never was complete. And so there was a tree that was cut down and, yeah. But now the water's getting into that. And the trees. Yeah.
So you're reciting that?
So where the
Yes.
plywood is, it'll get the.
Yeah,
You're not putting any windows or doors in that space?
no.
Bernie, did you?
I was just wondering if anybody here might know the effect that's going with the rotating the window 90 and putting 2 over 2 over 2, is that not historic for the time period of the building or?
On the front of the barn of the building over the.
Yeah, I was wondering if anybody knew what the,
The window that's in there right now appears to be just a lower, it's probably just a lower sash from a double arm window unit.
I see.
So I also have just a lower sash in the woodshed spot. I mean, it's an outlet, so,
Farmer fix.
yeah.
Is that a bit of a loft up there? So, yeah, makes sense, because it could have had a door.
It may have been a wooden door for hay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I just filled it with whatever was available.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah. Because the proportions of the panes are different from the other ones.
Just a scrap window from someplace. Maybe from the main part of the house. Yeah.
How did we resolve the issue of the divided light not having the three-dimensionality on the outside? And,
I think that will get resolved as we make a resolution, and if I were to make the resolution, I would encourage that it be approved only with at least the simulated divided light, not the grills between the glass, because our window guidelines are pretty clear on
Yeah.
no grills between the glass.
Is that something you folks can feel okay about? We have our guidelines and it's spelled out, and that's one of the requirements for the.
Well, we haven't ordered the windows yet, so it would be a difficult change to make.
And all the windows will have that same looking order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought about it, and I could make a motion on.
And if Bonnie, do you have any questions? I'm not sure. Did Karen have done? Just before we do, I just want to make sure everybody's done. Now, I'm assuming the garage door is not paintable, but the windows, they might come pre-painted or primed, but they are paintable, correct, if necessary?
Yeah.
And then the actual entry door is unfinished, so that would either be painted or stained?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This side.
Okay, Bernie, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
I'm at a loss for words, the three-dimensional out, what's the term for it besides?
Simulated divided light,
Okay, and that
yeah.
entails the three-dimensionality. And is there any other stipulations that anybody has that?
Did you have any other,
No.
Karen or Bonnie? I think that's good for me, thank you.
All right. I propose that HPAR approve the project at 12 Eagle Street based on 3B, C, and 5. With the stipulation that the windows have simulated divided lights.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Gib. Any discussion? Okay, Liz votes yes.
Bonnie, yes.
Bernie, yes.
Karen, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for putting up with our questions. Before we go any further, we will, it is 5:30, so the public hearing's been open for over 20 minutes. Is anybody else here who's just arrived for the public hearing regarding 22 Leatherstocking Street? No? Okay. So we're gonna let Erin recuse herself. We are gonna hold a vote then regarding the demolition of the attached wood shed at the rear of 22 Leatherstocking Street. The board reviewed this application at the last meeting and had a presentation by the homeowners. Before we can move forward with the item on the regular agenda, does anybody want to vote, make a motion regarding the demolition of the attached wood shed at the rear of 22 Stockton Street?
I move that we approve the demolition at the rear of 22 Leather Stockton Street.
Of the wood shed?
The wood shed.
Thank you. So I'll just make sure it goes in there, right? Okay, do we have a second? I'll second. Thanks, Bonnie. Any discussion? Liz votes yes?
Yes.
Bernie, yes.
Given.
Great, thank you very much. Aaron, you can rejoin us.
Sorry, I'm here because the water fountain is super loud.
I know, I hear it. Okay, so 22 Stockton Street is the next item on the agenda. As I noted, we reviewed the application to construct a garage, to construct a four-season space on the site by the footprint of the demolished woodshed, and to replace one window at the last meeting. Excuse me. You may want to stay over there. Does anybody have any questions before we ask for a motion regarding the proposed work at 22 Stockton Street? Anything that was not addressed at the last meeting that anybody would like to ask Aaron about?
Aaron, you decided to do the 2-over-2 windows in the garage because it was more modern in the house? Is that the idea?
Yes.
And also because then the windows would all be the same for the entire project. And the window maker would only have to make one window type.
Get a discount that way.
The window maker is my husband.
Thank you, Aaron.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? Yep.
No.
Fine?
No.
Ernie?
Nope.
Okay. Would anybody like to make a motion, and do people feel we should split this into 3 sections, or are people comfortable approving all 3 aspects of the application, the garage, the four-season space, and the window replacement?
I'm fine with it all.
I'm comfortable with that.
Okay.
So am
Great.
So I can just say approve the project at,
The proposed 3 phases of the project.
okay. I propose that HPAR permit the 3 phases proposed at 22 Leather Stockton Street based on 3A, 3B, 3D, 4B, and 5.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Bonnie. Any discussion? Liz votes yes.
Bonnie, yes.
Bernie, yes.
I. Given, yes.
Thank you very much. Awesome. Okay. Do we have representatives for 57 Susquehanna Street here? Would you like to come up and have a seat and tell us about your project? Hi.
Hello,
How are you?
good, how are you?
Good, thank you. That's what you'd like to do.
So, we would like to redo the porch. We essentially want to keep the look of it the same, but the flooring needs to be replaced. The structure underneath, the supports need to be redone because it's sagging a bit. And then the roof has an internal gutter system which is causing damage, and we need to replace the gutters and repair some of the roof damage.
So when you replace the gutters, are you going to do that on the exterior or the interior?
Thanks, Jerry.
Okay. The good news is we don't weigh in on gutters, so you can replace the gutters.
Okay.
But you can do that at your discretion. But yes, I can imagine that it's a big project to repair the internal gutter system. Okay, so tell us how you would like to address the decking or the flooring of the roof, of the, excuse me, of the porch.
We have this in the sample. And you are the expert on that, so I'll let you.
Just updating on the tracks and just replacing everything, just replacing our needs so that we can structure this down for the tracks. It needs to be 1 foot off center for that. So we have to reframe it a little bit. We won't change any of the exterior whatsoever.
Now, is the trucks a little bit thicker than the current decking?
I believe it's 5.25 that's on there, so it should be really close. It's really sad.
But you're maintaining the posts, the
Yes.
windows, the stiles, things like that.
Yeah, nothing's changing except for the deck itself and the frame underneath it.
And then after you reframe, are you planning on returning that skirting, the kind of crisscross lattice that's, okay.
Yeah, everything should look the same when we're done, except for the decking.
We would like to keep as much of the original as we possibly can.
And the steps,
The steps will get redone with the tracks, but they'll still be the same.
and the tracks are gonna be for the risers, but the actual structure is a wooden structure still?
The treads.
Treads, I'm
The
sorry,
risers are
yes, thank
still
you.
right.
The brain is
And
full of God knows what tonight. Just out of curiosity, the posts are so unique on this board, it's great,
They're pretty.
yeah.
What's the current step material leading up?
The current one,
The material that the treads are for the steps?
wood,
I was just curious if it was mahogany or.
painted wood.
Gotcha.
I believe it's pine. My boyfriend tried to do it himself, because they fall apart. So he just kind of replaced them and felt a lot of summer.
Yeah. Sometimes we live in the hard way, right?
Curious, and I don't want to interrupt anybody's thought processes, but how does the internal structure on the gutter system on the roof work? With the, like a different,
It's like a trough and it basically just goes into that and there's a hole at the end.
where's the trough?
It's right at the end of the roof, like it kind of pitches down and right before the end of the roof, there's a little trough right there.
That runs along.
And it runs along the edge of
Big Yankee gutter.
Yeah, caused a lot of problems. I was gonna resheet that and then put the roofing over that. And then get rid of, like, fix everything that need to be fixed.
So the roofing is gonna be, tell us about the membrane you're using.
It's TPO, I guess it's not really around here that much. You guys don't really get too much TPO around here, do you? Or PVC. You guys get a lot of EPDM, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like that, but it doesn't rely on glue. Glue is like the worst thing for like that. I don't understand why people still use that stuff. But it's a heat weld system, so it's like basically like an inner tube, or it's like a swimming pool liner, basically. And you heat weld it together, with a gun, and then it's bonded to itself, and then it doesn't rely on anything after that.
So it just rests on the framing and the sheathing.
You screw it down.
And then, so you have to kind of deactivate the gutter system. Have you ever dealt with an internal gutter system before?
Many times.
Just curious, that must be an interesting challenge.
So is that what folks call Yankee gutters or Yankee gutters? Yankee gutters?
What about?
Is that what they call Yankee gutters, the building?
I don't know.
So you're not, you're just deactivating the gutter system, you're not changing anything about how the roof, the roof of the porch appears from the outside, you're just gonna apply the new gutters to
Yeah, well, it's gonna get a new roof on it. It's gonna-
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so nothing else is changing, it's just, only gonna be changing would be the exterior gutters.
Kim, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Bonnie, do you have any questions? I don't. Bernie?
I guess I'm just, so instead of like a normal gutter that hangs on the outside, it's actually part of the roof itself, the edge of the roof has the trough.
And causes a lot of problems because the soffit's like getting destroyed from it, because it's just dripping right down in the middle of the soffit.
So Bernie, you can kind of see in the corner of this picture where there's an outlet, like a protrusion that would be part of that system. I don't know, Kim, have you dealt a lot with those systems in your experience? I don't know if you can explain how it works, but.
Yeah, I have two on my house.
Is that Yankee gutter?
I don't know what a Yankee gutter is. The traditional one is called the box gutter. These are basically on, general, the ones that I have in my house are from which shaped like this, rather than a U-shape. I don't know.
It's the same thing.
Kind of like a swale as
Yeah.
opposed to a,
Yeah.
My neighbor's house has that, like, he always calls them Yankee gutters.
and that is one of the terms I've heard too. Yeah. Okay, are there any other questions, Eric?
I don't have any other questions.
Okay.
I guess I did have a question
Sure.
on the existing porch, in the support column underneath, where there are gaps between it. Is that part of the replacement as well?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna fix all that and dress that up, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know if that bottom piece was.
Well, it fell off or something, yeah.
Or if the cylinder and the,
Um,
was rotten, or
Is that,
whether you have to replace it or not. No, just okay.
so is that a molding along the edge of the roof that you would see from the street now?
Yeah,
That's
all
all.
crown one.
And are you, what's gonna be there? I mean, I know you won't say it's gonna have gutter on it, but what, I take it you're gonna remove the crown molding and just kind of box it off with a facial board or something? Sure. So,
Is that, you're gonna change that molding then, as you?
Well, you wouldn't see it anyways if there was a gutter there, so regardless.
Well, I mean, but it's important that we understand that the molding's gonna change, whether you see it or not, because it's a change to the character of the structure. The reason we don't weigh in on gutters is because they're reversible, but when you do something like change the molding, that's not as reversible, so. So what are you gonna do there then?
Well, I was planning on taking it off, but I mean, if I need to, I can put hangers on there, so it just hangs off the roof, it just hangs in front of the house.
That would be the preference, actually.
That-
Try, yeah,
That would be
you know, if
perfect.
you're doing anything to change the original fabric, we have to have a real clear sense of what you're doing.
In order to do that, put a bunch of holes in the roof, just to be clear, in order to do that, so. Okay,
to hold the supports.
that's all they got
Or the
there.
door hangers.
Yeah, they're T-bar hangers is what they are.
Yeah, that was my previous question about the existing gutters, is that you're not gonna actually remove the existing gutter from the house, you're just gonna.
Well, if it's rotten and it's rotten wood, then I'm gonna take it out, because you don't wanna leave rotten wood in there, but I'm gonna be sheeting over it to put the new roof on, because there's gonna be a little cavity there where the gutter was. So,
But the box part of the gutter, you're not gonna. So basically, the house needs to look the same.
it will.
Okay.
It's not gonna, you can't even see the gutter, it's inside.
Right.
Yeah.
But I guess the interpretation of it, I'm not giving you a hard time, but where you thought it would look the same by putting, enclosing that molding, that wouldn't look the same. So we want to know when there are going to be any visual changes to the house. Okay, so we understand that it will complicate the hanging of the gutter, but the goal is to make sure that the character stays the same.
I get it.
Any other questions? So we're approving an application, or we're voting on an application that includes the application of a roof membrane, the removal of decking or flooring on the porch, and the treads out the stairs, and the replacement of that with the proposed tracks. And you're talking about the stabilization of the porch with the sub-flooring system, which we don't weigh in on, but in the process of doing that, it doesn't negate the skirting that exists, or if that has to change, it has to come back as a field change. Are we missing anything in terms of what you're proposing? Okay. Would anybody like to make a motion regarding the application?
I can make a motion. Are there any stipulations, and can it be approved as one?
I think it can be approved as one.
Okay. I propose that each parb give a certificate of appropriateness for the project at 57 Susquehanna based on 3A, 3B, 3C, and 3D.
We have a second?
A second.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, Liz votes yes.
Bonnie, yes.
Bernie, yes.
Aaron, yes.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Start from me.
What is yours? Melissa Gridley.
Gridley?
Mhm.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Thank you.
Okay. We'll move on to 12 Susquehanna. Have a seat. How are you tonight? Good. So tell us where your project's at, what you want us to know about it.
Besides the door change,
Say that again, I'm sorry.
besides the
Well,
door change.
Yeah, tell us what you're appearing before, I know you gave an application, but we'd like you to explain what you'd like.
Yeah, when I spoke to you originally, about working on the carriage house back there, I, at that point, thought we were gonna try and replace the existing, garage doors with sliding barn doors. But since then, some other factors come up just in terms of looking at what's done inside and other buildings around town and stuff, we decided that going with the old style carriage house doors, which are more period appropriate, would be better for a lot of reasons. And you get a better seal and will allow me to put the front back to what it was originally. You can see in the photos where when they put the garage door in, they kind of did a hack job bringing the height of the doors down. So my proposal is to bring it back up to the original height with the original type doors.
So the doors you're proposing, they'll actually swing out?
Yes.
And you're saying that it will be more like the way it was originally in terms of height of the doors?
You can see what's in the position and all the way out to the second story. But they were, for whatever reason, just because of the sliders having to come, the garage doors having to come back inside as they open, they had to allow an extra foot. or so, it's fairly high enough to get a pickup truck in. It's a nice change.
Yeah.
And you're also eliminating the third door altogether.
Right. Yeah, that'd be covered last year.
What was the decision on the removal of the third door? You have plenty of doors and.
Plenty of doors, and what I was gonna use that part of the building for doesn't, require. Do want to get better insulation sheathing, and that particular part of the building was constructed after the section that has two doors on the right. And the construction wasn't near as good as the first one that was done back in 1894, or whatever. So I've had to do a lot of framing and stuff like that to make it more stable.
So I know that you said the new doors are going to be custom built. Can you talk a little bit about the materials and finishes you plan to
Well,
use?
I'm gonna have to find another builder, because the guy that I originally talked about that was on radio silent on me. So,
It happens.
yeah, believe me, I know. I'm about a year behind because waiting for the concrete guys to finish.
And I applaud the decision, I just worry about swinging them out during the snow.
Well, I mean, that's, yeah, I don't anticipate using those doors that much in the winter.
Good,
I don't know, if I put something in there for the winter, it'll probably stay there. And we did, last time I was in, we put an option in for a manual on the side, so I could get in now without having to do that.
oh, certainly then, I mean, I just was worried about if you're
Yeah,
putting
no,
a
I
car.
thought about that, but almost anything I do, I'm gonna put in snow for anyways.
So I think in order to make a motion here, we would need to have some information about materials and hardware. Because, we require information on
Okay.
materials. So you can tell us, you can, I don't know, what are the choices, because there aren't materials.
I mean, yeah, it'll be wood, I mean, it's the same materials as the rest of the building. Like I said, I'm a little bit lost, I got a list of new names, but I just haven't had a chance to track them down.
So paintable wood, the same configuration as in the picture.
Correct.
Are you thinking of the 4 lights, or excuse me, 8 thank you, 8 light.
The windows?
Yeah,
Yeah, but one of the things I want to be able to do is allow a little more natural ambient light into the building.
Would it be difficult for you to, once you get your plan together, to run by us? Or would that hold you up? Or how does-
No, I mean, I'm hoping I can get that done before when it really sets in hard, but if it doesn't, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it, because like I said, I'm already behind all sorts of other stuff, and I'm having to do myself instead of having the contractor, okay, do it forward.
So it would be really good, I mean, aesthetically, we can take a vote on whether people, how people feel about the design of the doors. I'm assuming the opening size is not going to change.
it is gonna change.
It'll be, the way it's constructed, it'll be larger than the existing garage doors, because they're tall, looking they're tall.
But it'll be a change back, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be changed back to what the original setup was.
And the trim is just gonna be this, like, it'll be the same trim as already exists on the 2 doors.
Right, and the rest of the corners and the rest of the building too. All that match. But as best experience you can get.
So we'll need to know the hinges, the door handles, know the product you're using for the windows, things like that.
Okay.
But does anybody want to formally make a motion regarding the design itself that is being proposed. So that Dan knows he can go ahead and begin to negotiate with somebody regarding it.
I'd be happy to do that, but then the stipulation would be that we call field changes in terms of the exact.
Yeah, we do field changes with the materials when he knows what materials, but this way he has our sign off on the plan for the door itself.
And so the plan would be, the two doors with the enlarged openings as well as the covering up of the.
Well, that we did last.
Yeah, the covering up.
That's already been done. The covering up of the door.
Oh, okay, so it's just.
That was already approved last
So
year.
it's the two.
Yeah.
The two doors and the enlarged opening.
Right?
I propose that HBAR provide a certificate of appropriateness for the project at 12 Sussex Manor based on 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D, 3E, 4A, 4B, and 4C, with the stipulation that the materials used for the door and trim will be given to us as field changes for approval.
Floor, trim, windows, hardware.
Door trim windows and hardware.
I can second that motion.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Liz votes yes.
Bonnie, yes.
Burn, yes.
Aaron, yes.
Yes,
Thanks, Dan.
thank you.
Yeah, that's great that you're getting back to those doors are going to look terrific.
Yeah, I think we'll look really nice
Yeah,
when I get it finished.
it will.
Thank you.
Worth the wait.
Indeed.
Okay, we're gonna skip over number 5 and invite Dan to come to the table and tell us about the project at 18 Pine Boulevard.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Good.
Good, how are you?
Tired.
Yeah,
Okay, so tell us what you'd like to do.
Essentially, the second story deck is not up to code as far as the railing system goes. There is a protective, 36-inch deck that's up there temporarily. However, I'd like to improve it to cover the whole roof so that it protects it a little bit better. In that case, I'd like to use Trex decking, cover the entire deck, and at that point widen the stairs to bring them up to code because they're only 24 inches rather than 36 inches that they need to be. So it's basically extending the stairway to make it the 36 inches and replacing what's temporarily up there with a completely covered Trex decking. I've got a few pictures in there, probably a couple too many, but I just want you to see what it's ultimately going to look like.
So right now, it looks like a little walkway, but the whole deck will be covered.
Yes, it's going to be covered, the entire thing with Trex decking, so that it protects a little bit better from the weather.
And when you rebuild the stairs, the footprint's gonna change, right?
It's actually not, because by code, it has to be 7 3/4 run over 10-inch, rise versus run is 10 by 7, so it's only going to change by about an inch and a half.
Okay, and when it turns the corner, that's not gonna be an issue with a wider stair?
I'm expanding that to a 36 by 36 landing as code requires.
So Will the railings of the second floor, the third floor, or the stairwell change?
The railings on the second floor, I was proposing using composite material so that they're not going to weather quite as quickly as wood. You cannot see that from the roadway at all, as it's roughly 300 feet in the back of the house.
So you said a composite material.
Yes, correct.
Is it paintable composite material?
It's a white composite material to match the side of the house.
Is it a paintable composite material?
It is not, no. Any material is paintable,
But it's a vinyl material.
yes, correct.
What's the existing material?
What's up there right now is just 2x4.
Painted black
It's,
or green or something?
it's, Clark green, yes.
Good.
I painted that for the last homeowners about 4 years ago.
But you're going with the same design for the railing?
By code, it has to be 42 inches tall because it's commercial building. I believe there's pictures in there with the designated material.
It's just gonna have square
Yes,
balusters
yep, correct.
with a posted decorative cap.
3.5 inch on center, as required by code.
Just because they're all the same color and I feel like I'm a bit confused. So the third floor, it appears like that is, that sort of porch is functioning as a fire escape, yeah?
Yeah, that actually was done last year when I was around town. It's a steel structure.
Yeah.
Not attached.
So, are we supposed to review things like that?
It's not,
I was no part of that
I know.
whatsoever.
I just asked.
No, I'm assuming probably yes, because the owner of the property was very adamant about me getting permits and getting it certified, things like that, so I'm sure that has gone through.
So is just because I've walked past the front of this house lots of times, but I haven't ever seen the back, so is this the primary entrance for that apartment?
It is not now.
Okay.
They've got a primary entrance, this is
Is it
actually,
just that-
this is a secondary entrance,
Mhm.
and I spoke with Keith at the code's office, and he specifically said, based on it being a secondary entrance, I only had to have the 36 inches.
36 inches in the width of the stair.
Correct, yes. Yep.
The fire escape for the third floor is going to have the tracks on the floor as well, or you're not touching
I'm
that?
not touching that at all. Essentially, what I'm trying to do is protect the roof as long as possible, putting the tracks on there so that snow doesn't build up on there, and bring everything up to code.
Since this is an application that we agreed to see at the last minute, many of us have not been able to visit the actual house. I understand the siding is white. What type of material is the siding made out of?
On that house, I believe it is made out of vinyl. Or aluminum, excuse me.
It looks like aluminum.
Yes. I brought a couple, I spoke with Chris earlier. I brought a couple of pictures of front of the house, I don't know if that's what it is. Yeah, I don't know. It's right on the corner of, Pine and Main Street, right next to the county. That's a front picture where you cannot see
You can't see the back.
the back half.
And the drive, the driveway is super steep.
It's very steep, actually. I don't know how some people get up there.
It's a hitch killer, man. No, I'm not trying to get your trailer hitch up there.
Did you live in that apartment?
No, but I walk past it a lot, and there are so many, like, there are like trenches in that driveway.
Mhm,
Dug
100%, yeah.
Somebody, I knew somebody in grad school who lived in that third floor apartment once.
They're all juicy, man. So,
No, Anush is, he's a great guy, property owner, and he just wants to make the property better for all of his tenants and things like that.
And I understand it's at the rear. I would love to see not a vinyl material used on the porch surround the railings and the posts. I don't know if other people feel as strongly about it as I do.
yeah, I'm likely to approve the vinyl.
I mean, what would we need to do to get this motion to go through? I mean,
A paintable composite product, not a shiny vinyl product.
as far as that goes, it's on the second story, which is 12 feet in the air. And as it being a rental property, there's less.
This board generally does not approve the paintable vinyl products unless we're dealing with the structure where a direct replacement of a paintable vinyl product.
Okay,
You're replacing wood,
correct.
not exactly a historic wood, I understand it's at the rear, but we're trying to avoid setting precedent. So vinyl is not something we generally approve. Where you see vinyl, it's either gone up without approval and that property owner has had to be accountable in other ways to this board and to the village, or it directly replaced something that was vinyl, so that we're replacing like materials with like materials, so.
Okay, I understand, that's why I came in front of you before I did anything.
Yeah, so there are very few instances in the village where you're gonna see material like this, and there's a reason.
Yeah, people, they just went ahead and did it, unfortunately.
And sometimes it's even been in the file that if the house is sold, they have to reveal to the property owner that if it's replaced, it gets replaced with a not vinyl product, so it does not continue to be that way. So,
Okay,
we have done things to address it when vinyl has been installed without permission. And we don't want to kind of get on that slippery slope.
I think it's safe to say that wood is our preferred.
Wood is our preferred. It is, as he pointed out, on the back of the house and somewhat shady and secondary spot. So a paintable composite would be approved, but not a bright shiny white vinyl that's not truly paintable.
okay. That's not an issue at all. I could definitely put on a paintable composite.
We would need to know if the dimensions, are the styles the same, are the railings the same, are the materials that,
The by code, they have to be 42 inches tall based on it's a commercial building, so it would not change.
Right, but can you get this, like, will the post cap be the same in the panel?
Or would,
Yeah,
honestly,
absolutely, yes.
is the post cap the desirable look, or would you just go with the straight railing, a simpler straight panel?
You would need to have a post cap on there, so it would be similar look, yes.
But a field change, if there was something that came up, it could be, you could still do it.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
I have one area of concern,
Okay.
is that when this is pointing out, when you make the landing, right,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna become bigger than, it'll be 3 feet by 3 feet.
Yes,
So in that space, according to your drawings, there's 9 feet from the wall to where the stairs must. There's 9 feet from the house, right, up to where it meets the roof.
okay,
So that means that after the 3-foot deck, you've got 6 feet. You've got 6 feet for those stairs, right? This part of the
Yeah.
stairs. And so because the deck is, the landing is wider, the stairs have to go at a steeper angle in order to fit, right?
these stairs currently, the rise versus run, by code, it allows a 7 3/4 inch rise compared to the run. So it's going to come very close.
Okay, I'm just, yeah, when I calculated it, it looked like it was about 47 degrees is what it would come out to be, which I think is beyond, but that's between you and the building inspector to figure out.
Yeah,
I'm saying, if it will work at all, it's gonna be super close.
I've spoken with him a few different times about it already, and he's, planning on meeting up with me to actually look at it, and
Right.
give me the final approval.
Cool, just letting you know that that's sticks out as something that I want to make sure that you can fit these stairs in there.
Yes,
easily, you know.
And then the other question is that lower section of stair after that 36 by 36 landing,
mm-hmm.
is that gonna come out beyond the edge of the building? And just, clarifying exactly where that's literally gonna land, is that gonna appear differently?
It was, if I did the math correctly, it was going to come out 6 inches further from where it actually was. But I would put a rail in there to compensate for that.
Other questions?
I don't have any other comments.
Good? Done? No, sorry. Would anybody like to make a motion?
Sure. I propose that each bar provides a certificate of appropriateness for a project at Eastern Pine based on 3A, 3B, 3D, and 5, with the stipulation that paintable composite be used for the railing.
Or wood?
Or wood.
Or wood, thank you.
Okay.
And as well that if there are changes to the railing and supports, as well as to the staircase, that they be approved as field changes.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I can second.
Thank you, Erin. Any discussion?
No.
Liz votes yes.
Aaron, yes.
Yes.
Bernie, yes.
Goodness.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. You have a great night.
You too.
Absolutely.
Cindy, you took an extra application just so you had time to get here.
I apologize, I teach until 5:15 in the office, so I appreciate the extra few minutes.
So, the application is pretty straightforward, but if there's anything you'd like us to understand about it.
Yeah, so it's for a fence, which I think that part's very straightforward. And then, for a lean-to roof that is attached to the back of the church building. It's been there for some time. If you check it out, you will see it is in fairly poor condition. And we are concerned, if we have heavy snows this winter, that it might come tumbling down, and we'd rather remove it properly. That said, that we do expect, moving forward to do something with that entrance. It is an emergency egress from the sanctuary out the back. And we are debating whether we can find enough space to make a ramp that would allow people to enter the sanctuary without having to use the elevator. But that is a longer term project, and our immediate concern is we don't want the roof to become detached from the building.
Understandable.
You keep the railing there?
There's like a pipe railing right now, yes, we would need to do that. I don't think anyone has used those stairs. If you look at the stairs, you'll know they're also in bad condition, but, yeah, we would keep the railing so that we continue to be grandfathered with the.
Because without any cover, then you're gonna have ice and.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But there's so many people who can remove that ice and snow from the church property.
Yes.
And only one person can do it really well.
You get lessons for that.
We're getting a little punchy.
Yeah, I've been listening to your meeting in the car, so thank you very much for your longevity this evening.
So I can,
Are there questions? Okay, go for it.
okay, I moved at HR provider certificate, appropriateness for the project at 18 and 20, no, 19 and 21
19 and 21.
Elm Street. I just call it the Baptist Church. Under criteria, five, that's pretty much it, 5. Yeah, that's it.
And then the ramp and or overhead might come back as a field change, as you know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, when we've had time to more carefully plan that out, yes.
Wait a second. Liz votes yes,
Aaron has.
Bonnie, yes.
Ernie, yes.
Given
assuming there was no discussion, sorry.
Okay.
Long walk off a short cliff. Stuff, thanks, somebody.
Thanks.
Thank you.
The meeting was over.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to do a short presentation of our structure.
Okay, so I think everybody, maybe except Aaron, gave me feedback on the 18th. I'll reach out to Dave as well. Aaron, when you know, let me know.
Oh, that is fine.
Okay, great. So that means we have a quorum for the 18th. So if everybody here tonight is able to be here on the 18th, then even if it doesn't work for Dave, we will, and Lizzie will hold the meeting on the 18th. But I will reach out to both of them with that change. And then we won't have to meet on Veterans Day. Chris and Marcia might actually like a day off, and the lights will be dark here. I apologize. I opened the minutes so many times to try to review them today, and my day just was not allowing it. So we do not have finally reviewed minutes to vote on, and that's my fault. But we will work on those at the next meeting.
I may not be around for February's meeting.
Okay.
Very slight change to January's, but February's is not good.
Thank you. And as you know, about January, if you're not going to be here, let us know and remind us in January, or February.
A few little notes for me, just to say, well, one, I looked up on the Chris Cultural Resource Farm, the shed roof you were eliminating, it looks like it was 1955 that those rear steps were built, so. Famous rear steps.
Yeah, 70 years old.
Good hard work, so. And also, Elizabeth Cooper couldn't make it tonight and told me to share her, well.
He appreciates that, she checked in.
Okay, good.
No, that she let you know. I think Dave told us he wasn't gonna be here, but we all forgot. So thank you. Okay, anything else for the good of the Historic Preservation Board?
I just have one thing, is that I'm a member of a historic preservation listserv that's managed by the state of Massachusetts. There was a question recently asking what their historic resource locals were, they're called something different over there. But basically, how do they notify new homeowners that they've purchased a property in a historic district? And so the thread just has a bunch of great examples from different places of brochures or notifications or processes or whatever. So I saved that. I haven't read it all, but I'll forward it to you, Liz. I can forward it to everybody.
Yeah.
Just, it's just a good resource, for what other people do,
That would be great.
at least in Massachusetts.
And I'm not sure if I shared it with anybody, but I thought that maybe since most people, when they're buying homes, are gonna wanna stop up at real property, that some sort of note on the map and the surveys and so forth, to the effect that you are in.
You're entering the Historic Preservation District. I think anywhere we can get the word out would be great.
It also struck me that some of our violators are in the hospital. I'm trying not to say, I was hospital, but there's a lot of people who come in for, buy a house for a few years and leave. I just noticed most recently there's one that I heard about it. And I found the homeowner, it's like, oh, it's a doctor. Again, not asking this person, some are fine doctors, but maybe they'd be a group that we should reach out to with some info.
And then,
Because they're generally out of town.
and maybe sending somebody to the, Welcome Home Cooperstown events, which always co-occur with this meeting, I think, because it's always the second Tuesday.
First Tuesday.
First Tuesday, oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
Each department sponsor one of the nights.
Each department. You're gonna have each department night.
Historic Preservation Month is May.
Oh, sounds great, perfect. I love it, great idea. So long away, I feel like, no, I don't, sounds like a great idea for like a future fantasy town.
Let's talk in May. We could all
Handout.
Yeah.
Handout from Massachusetts.
Or Cooperstown by that point.
I do suspect that, I don't know how we would use the hospital network to get the word out. I know when people are buying, that I cannot imagine the hospital providing information to potential new homeowners that could be interpreted as a barrier to purchasing a house in the village of Cooperstown, right? So we have to be careful about how we frame that or package it or whatever.
It's like the realtors.
Right. But, I think everybody wants to, the stuff I skimmed in that Massachusetts helpful thread was, I think, very interestingly phrased. So, and I don't mean that to say that they're trying to package something, trying to make it seem other than it is, but I think that it was very straightforward and pointed out the benefits of purchasing home in a historic district, so.
I'd like to see it. Thank you.
Well, maybe that's the way to package it.
The argument I always try to make,
If you're so lucky.
well, the value of your investment. Augmented.
Plus, we are your neighbors here on this board.
Yes. Your friends and neighbors. Well, excuse me. Sorry, I sneezed and wheezed halfway through.
I get a motion to adjourn.
Awesome.
Moved.
Great. Wonderful. Mike's off, everybody. Thank you, Sarsha.
Oh,